something unusual about him, confront him. He has a firearm in his hand, immediately makes access to a building, slams the door with the firearm in his hand, and then he turns into a barricaded subject. The officers did an outstanding job, the uniform officers. They called for some backup, and backup got there quickly. We secured, surrounded the building, 374 Atwells Avenue, the barber shop, and made sure he didn't make entry into other portions of that building. It's a pretty big building. At that point, called for additional resources. The Special Response Unit made their way here. Several members of the SRU team are on scene. We had trained negotiators make contact with the subject, talked to him at length. They did an outstanding job in talking him safely out of the building, as you just saw. It wasn't quick, as they never are, but in barricaded subject terms, actually it was. So here we are at shortly after 4 p.m. The event is over. We have recovered a firearm. There's an additional search by the Providence Police being conducted at this time. One subject is in custody. His name is Timothy Desjardins, and we'll release more later as the investigation continues. So he's been involved in an incident recently, and the investigation continues.
Chief, recently there was a shooting right across the street from me on Sunday night. Is that maybe connected with that?
Yes, yes.
It is.
Yes. So again, known to the Providence Police, known to police, but you know, a safe ending for all. Great work by the Providence Police, professional, patience. Myself and the commander on scene, other members of the command staff. I praise the members of the SRU and the negotiators, especially for the work they did in talking to this subject patiently and coaxing him out of the building.
Chief, can you talk a little bit about what they had to deal with once he barricaded himself inside the building? Were there other people in that barber shop?
So yeah, several people had to be evacuated from that building. I won't say the barber shop, and facilities and buildings across the street and then in the nearby area. As you know, this is a very vibrant, active area with a lot of pedestrian traffic. A lot of people live in the immediate area, a lot of businesses. But so patience, some good methodical work by the Providence Police in keeping everyone safe in the nearby area, and that happened. And then through the negotiations, through the conversations, he walks himself out safely.
Who's the negotiator?
Giuseppe Scarsello, and he was aided by Eric Fernandez.
Last time we talked about Mr. Desjardins, he had a list of firearm charges, like even dating back a few years. Is that a concern to police, or I think people might have questions about why he keeps getting involved in this type of thing?
You look, I mean, this is what we're dealing with in society, a lot of firearms out here in the community. Providence Police are seizing firearms at a record clip. I've reported this recently. We've seized at this point well over 1,100 casings in the city, and the Providence Police have not fired one bullet. We're setting record numbers in seizures of firearms. You're seeing that in cities around the country, so yes, it is a huge concern.
Do we think that the weapon he had was legal, or do we know that yet?
Well, it's not legal in the sense that he's out on probation right now. He's out on bail. So no, it's not legal. And you know, 99% of the firearms that we seize with an arrest, they're not legally in the hands of someone rightfully who can't possess them.
So was he just walking down the street with a gun in his hand while...
Well, he's from this area. No, he wasn't, but he had it on him. And, you know, these officers are trained as to what to look for when they know someone is possessing a firearm. And some of these guys and girls, they're just very good. And even if the firearm were concealed, the officers, through their training, through their experience, they know when someone is carrying a firearm.
And you can't go any further into what exactly he's known for?
No, obviously we identified the incident right over here across the street on Atwells Avenue. He was involved in a shooting incident. There are other investigations that are active, very active investigations involving him.
Could you spell his last name?
I can't right now. We'll release all that.
Desjardins. Desjardins.
the officer who initially confronted him?
It was two officers that were headed back to the station from a directed patrol activity, and no surprise, it was Officer Ryan Malloy and Scott Campbell.
How many SWAT teams do you use to breach in?
Sorry?
How many SWAT teams do you use to breach in? I heard that there were like 2 different side entrances that
Well, we never breached the building. I mean, we had officers who were securing the rear of the building. We had about a little over a dozen SRU members on scene, and most of them were on a day off at that point, and so they got here quickly. The on-duty guys secured the scene safely, and we've become accustomed to doing this with regularity and just securing the scene until the SWAT team gets here. We were prepared to wait this out for as long as we had to, but through the efforts of the negotiators, they got them out quickly.
This is an area with a lot of traffic on a daily basis, heavy traffic, restaurants. Was it hard to contain the safety of the population?
Yeah, certainly in the beginning, it's difficult. The easy part is blocking off traffic. The more difficult thing is evacuating people from the nearby residents and commercial areas. But it worked out fine. We'll give you more later. I'm sure you'll follow the arraignment tomorrow.